Hey Marie, how are you? I saw that you were out all week. Where were you? Did you take a trip or something? I bet you took a trip with your family. Am I right? Where did you go, if I may ask? Was it overseas, maybe? Did you bring back any souvenirs? Oh, I wonder what it could be. Come on, Marie, where was your trip to? You can tell me. Oh, hello, Sandra. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself as usual. I just went with the family to visit my husband's parents over in Sanford, that's all, so no souvenirs, sorry. It was just your boring visit to Grandpa and Grandma's house. We just sat around at home and relaxed, not sightseeing or anything. Really not much to see around there except wheat fields. Oh, really? Oh, that's no fun. It's almost Thanksgiving weekend and you went to visit your grandparents, huh? Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend we plan to visit my folks over on the East Coast. It's a bit further, so we'll stay a little longer. It's a hassle because both of us want to stay longer. We have to share our time wisely. Oh, yeah. Hey, you said your husband lives over in Sanford, right? Isn't there a big amusement park over there? Yeah, but it's like an hour's drive over there, and I heard it gets pretty crowded on the weekends. I envy you so much. You get to go all over the place. I was thinking of taking the kids there, but my folks are pretty old. They would rather relax at home. We had neighbors over for a barbecue. That was about it. Oh, really? What a waste. I heard that place was really fun, like Disneyland. A real missed opportunity. You were all there. You really should have popped over and enjoyed yourselves. The kids would have had a blast. That's why you don't have any souvenirs, huh? What a bummer. I was expecting a little something. Oh well, you sure put a damper on that. Yeah, alright. Okay, no souvenir for me means nothing for you when I come back from my Hawaii vacation. Sorry. Now we're even, right? I was planning on buying a whole bunch of neat stuff. Oh well, you really missed out, Marie. You're taking a vacation? You're going to Hawaii? Yep, that's right. This is my first time, so I'm so excited. We're leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Oh, I get it now. So this is what it's all about, huh? You just wanted to tell me? Of course I wanted to tell you. What do you mean by that anyway? Nothing. Wow, how nice. Oh, sorry, Sandra. I just remembered I have to get dinner ready for the kids. I really have to go. I'm so sorry to cut this short, but we'll talk again later, I promise. Talk to you again. Bye. Yeah, okay. Bye. Hey, Sandra, are you there? Please reply. This is important. It's about your son, Kenny. He's sitting on your back porch crying his eyes out. I can see him from my kitchen window. What's going on? Did he lock himself out or something? Isn't anybody home? He seems so upset. It's getting really cold outside, so you better get him inside. I heard it was going to snow tonight. Are you even home, Sandra? I may have to go over there, you know. He's gonna freeze out there. You better get him inside right away. Huh? Relax, would you? What are you all upset about, Marie? Hey, Sandra, finally! It's freezing outside. I heard it's gonna snow later. Let him inside, the poor kid. Oh, you're talking about Kenny, right? Yeah, well, I left him out there on purpose. Pardon me? On purpose? What are you saying? What was I supposed to do? He was screaming and going on like a little monster. He insisted that I take him to Hawaii with me. Can you believe the little brat? I was going to be late catching the flight to Hawaii, so I had no other choice but to leave him out there on the porch. I mean, what else was I supposed to do, for God's sake? Anyways, I left him with that big down jacket. He'll be fine. Wait, are you saying you're not even home? Yeah, that's right. I'm in the airport limo now, heading to the airport. Almost at the terminal, as a matter of fact. But I suppose I kind of expected he would act this way. And I knew you would be in the kitchen and probably be looking toward our house right about this time. That's right, I've been monitoring you, Marie. The whole thing went just the way I planned. You planned this? What are you even talking about? I knew you'd be looking out your window. You always prepare lunch about now, and you have a clear view from that window. I knew you would see him. I had him wear that big red down jacket just in case. Worked, huh? So take care of Kenny for me while I enjoy some sun, would you? Sure would appreciate it. I'm going to be in Hawaii for a week, and I don't want to be bothered. I need some quiet time for myself with no interruptions. So I'm going to shut off my phone the whole time I'm here, just so you know. Okay then, I'm off to paradise. Take care of little Kenny for me while I'm gone, okay? Bye. Aloha. Hey, Sandra, don't know when you're going to see this since you said you were shutting off your phone. I've retrieved Kenny from the back porch and brought him over to our house. He was freezing, you know. That was no down jacket, just a red windbreaker. What were you thinking? He's fine now, but it could have been serious if I hadn't seen him. Reply when you see this, and I mean ASAP. No reply probably means your little vacation has started and you won't see this until next week. Probably sitting on the beach about now. But you're going to see this sooner or later. I can't just let you off the hook. It doesn't feel right to just let this go. So I'm going to leave a long message for you. What the hell is wrong with you, Sandra? I believe your husband is currently assigned overseas, right? He comes back once or twice a year or something? I remember you griping about that after our PTA meeting. You wouldn't shut up about it. Who the hell did you go to Hawaii with anyway? Was this one of those solo trips? I know it's just you and your son, but I really can't understand why you would leave your son all alone to go off to Hawaii for a week. And you leave your kid out on the porch in the freezing cold with only a thin windbreaker? How could you do that? What if I wasn't home that day? He would have been out there all night. This could have ended badly, you know? Did you even think that far? How can you even call yourself a mother? Are you just disguised as a mother, but in reality you're some evil monster? I talked to my husband about it, and he may be able to contact your husband overseas. When your husband returns, I'll return Kenny to his dad. So when you get back, contact him and work the rest out yourselves. That's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, Sandra. Looks like you haven't even turned your phone on yet. I guess you're keeping your word about no interruptions. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a daily update about your husband. We contacted him last night, and apparently he hopped on a plane right away. He's scheduled to be back later this afternoon. Just so you know, I'll be over there when he arrives, and you can be sure I will tell him every last detail about this situation. Honestly speaking, what you did was totally inexcusable. And after I do that, we leave for my parents' home and won't be back for a few days. So even if you contact me about Kenny, I won't be able to help you out. You're just going to have to contact your husband and talk it over with him. Just don't rely on me to help. Oh, and one more thing. It seems you're not only ignoring my messages, but your husband's as well. But you know what, Sandra? Maybe people already know why you went to Hawaii. And maybe who you went with. Or maybe even details about this guy. Address and phone number, maybe? You may be pretty surprised how much everyone knows. I bet some preparations are being made. But what do I know, right? Anyways, have fun, and hope all this was worth it. Hello there, Marie. How was your week? I just arrived back from Hawaii. I had such a wonderful time. I brought so many souvenirs. The luggage weighs a ton. I'm glad I have rollers on this suitcase. Had the guy loaded onto the van and off again. I better give him a big tip when we arrive back at the house. Oh yeah, and how's little Kenny? Tell him I got him a super nice gift. He's going to love it. I really don't know how to thank you for taking care of my son this entire week. I hope he wasn't a burden on you. I'll stop by and pick him up after I return. But I have to tell you, Marie, it is so nice having such a considerate and useful person living right next door. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here, Marie. Thanks so much for this. I hope I can count on you again in the future. I bet Kenny likes it over there. Maybe he doesn't even want to return. And I heard your cooking was pretty good too, always standing in the kitchen like a good housewife. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I said I would not get you a souvenir because of that last time? You remember that, right? Well, I'm keeping my word. No souvenir for you, Marie. Sorry, and eye for an eye, right? I wasn't expecting one, so don't worry about it. Oh, there you are, Marie. I was wondering when you were going to answer. You're acting a bit high and mighty. Do I sense a tinge of jealousy, perhaps? Just because you babysat my kid for a week, aren't you being a little lordy? Babysit? Your son's not over here. I'm not looking after him. Pardon me, are you saying he's not over there at your place? What I'm saying is that even if you come over now to pick him up, he's not here. Hold on a second. You saw him on the porch, then took him in, and you've been looking after him the whole week, right? I mean, come on, Marie. You found him sitting out there on the porch. And as you know, my husband is working overseas and only comes back once or twice a year. You're the one who found him, and you're supposed to be our neighbor, for God's sake. You have a responsibility to take care of him. I'm starting to see the picture. I figured as much. When you were in Hawaii, I sent a daily report of what was going on, but you had your phone shut off. And it seems you haven't even looked through your past messages. No, I never read past messages. What's that got to do with anything? I would just ask you to open up Line and check your messages for the past week, and you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. If you take a good hard look at it, you'll see that it's probably not only me, but I'm guessing there are a bunch of messages from your husband and your parents. Yeah, well, it just seems like such a nuisance to have to answer back every time, so I just shut it off and enjoyed my time in Hawaii. You'd do the same. That's where you're wrong. I am way more responsible than you. You'd rather ignore all your messages and have a jolly old time than worry about your kid or your family. I hope all of it was worth it. What are you going on and on about? Was Kenny a pain in the butt or something? Don't take it out on me, Marie. Just look at your darn messages, would you? You'll know what I'm going on and on about. All right already, you don't have to get all irritated for Pete's sake. What the hell has gotten into you? What the hell is this, Marie? How the hell did this happen? How the hell did you get in touch with my husband? He's working overseas. Who told you his contact info? I certainly didn't. When you guys moved in next door, my husband was already assigned overseas. You only met him a handful of times. Did someone in the neighborhood tell you? I bet it was Miss Bennett down the street. She was always asking about my husband. Well, what you didn't know was that my husband had business dealings with your husband. They met on occasion. Business dealings? They worked together before? You never told me that. Yeah, there was some business project they worked on together about a year ago. He mentioned the company and where he was stationed, so it wasn't very hard to track him down. Are you serious? They know each other? Yep. I really thought you knew. Don't you guys talk much? Guess you figured nobody knew your husband, huh? That's why you felt safe about going to Hawaii all alone. Or was it? Anyway, your actions were despicable. You do realize that, don't you? Excuse me? How could you say that? Come on, Sandra, think about it. You put your own kid in danger. He could have frozen to death that day. What if I wasn't home and nobody found him? My God, I hate to even think about it. If someone had called the police, you could have been charged, you know? Did that thought ever cross your mind? Call the police? Are you serious? Why would anybody call the police? You make me sound like a criminal. You're lucky that there was no need for such a drastic measure. We took Kenny in, he was a bit shaken, but he was fine, and we were also able to contact your husband, so... But if the police were called, there could have been consequences. You could have been charged with a crime. To put a young child in danger like that? What were you thinking? You're kidding me, right? Oh yeah, and your husband? He said he was contemplating divorce. I would talk to him right away, Sandra. He was furious. That guy you went to Hawaii with? Yes, we all know all about this guy. Apparently, he's your boyfriend, wasn't he? The way I see it, I think you're going to have a pretty difficult time getting custody of Kenny. Sure looks like your husband holds all the winning cards. He wants a divorce and he wants custody? How was I supposed to know it would all get overblown like this? It was just a short little vacation for Pete's sake. What am I gonna do? Kind of late to be worrying about that, wouldn't you say? Hey, Marie, are you there? Please pick up. Where did my husband and Kenny go? You must know. You have to tell me. Come on. Are they at a neighbor's house? Down at Miss Bennett's place, maybe? Is that where they are? I just walked in the door and all our stuff is gone. The place is cleaned out. Where did they go? I went over to your place too and nobody's there either. Where is everyone, for God's sake? I asked Mrs. Simpson across the street and she wouldn't tell me anything. Just shrugged her shoulders. I bet she knows. Did you tell her to keep her mouth shut? I just found the divorce papers and photos showing us on the beach in Hawaii. Who took these photos anyway? Did my husband hire a private investigator? There's also a business card here for some divorce lawyer. Why? How did he find out? Why didn't you just look the other way, Marie? Not only that, my boyfriend contacted me. Apparently my husband called him and told him that I was married. He wasn't supposed to know. He just sent me a line. He wants nothing more to do with me. We had such a romantic time in Hawaii. He said he loved me, and then he drops me just like that? Was that all a lie? I can't believe this is happening to me. Where did it all go wrong? I don't want to split up with my husband. What am I going to do all alone from now on? I want my boyfriend back. After I got that line message, she evidently headed over to her parents' place, who live about an hour's drive away. I guess she's living with them now. After about a month, I heard that the divorce was finally settled. Just as I expected, her husband was granted full custody of Kenny, and she was obligated to pay a considerable amount as compensation. I also heard she had to pay the boyfriend a certain amount too. The poor guy thought she was single and was even thinking of marrying her down the line. I don't blame him for demanding compensation. With child support and compensation for both her husband and the boyfriend, I heard she was like $100,000 or more in debt. A neighbor who knows her pretty well told me that she's living with her folks and working every day to pay off that debt. At least she has somewhere to go. I bet her folks never expected to take care of their daughter again. She apparently regrets what she did and is trying to make up for it. I suppose it's a little too late for that. Anyway, she won't be going on any vacations to Hawaii anytime soon. Hi, sister. Thanks for getting divorced with Giorgio for me. I'm glad you realized that I was just the better woman for him and stepped aside. Rosella, you've got some nerve contacting me like this. What? But I just came to tell you that we turned in the marriage papers to the city hall. We're husband and wife now. And what makes you think I wanted to know that? I mean, this is a happiness that couldn't have been achieved without your help, so I thought I would share it with you. Oops, sorry. I forgot that you lost your own happiness because of it. Oh, I'm so insensitive, forgive me. I was just so happy myself that I forgot to think about what you felt. As an apology, I promise to find long-lasting happiness with Giorgio, so forgive me, all right? Do whatever you want, I don't care. I don't need a cheating man who's so easily seduced by someone like you anyways. I know that you went after Giorgio because he works at a large trading company and has a large salary as well, but I pity you and all other women like you who can only find love by stealing other people's boyfriends. Huh? What even is that? Aren't you being a bit too mean? It's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other. The fact that you got so angry at what I said means that you are at least a little self-conscious about it, aren't you?
Shut up! You're just jealous of me because guys don't find you attractive, but they find me attractive.
I don't want to be told something like that by someone who's only interested in hand-me-downs from other women. Seriously, have you ever even thought about it like that?
Oh, what did you just say to me? It's not my fault if guys find me more attractive than other women. And it's not like I steal their boyfriends. It's more that they come to me voluntarily.
Right. Well, I guess you're right in at least one thing. Every boyfriend you stole until now was a cheating piece of scum. To be honest, I actually think you're doing a favor to all those girls whose boyfriends you stole by taking their trash boyfriend away from them. Anyways, I need to unpack my stuff now since I moved. I don't have the time to talk with an idiot like you, so bye.
Huh? What's your deal even? Why are you acting all arrogant towards me like that? You're just the woman Giorgio threw away. I swear I'll become so happy with him that you'll start crying when you see us next. Hi, sister. You received the invitation to me and Giorgio's wedding, right? Hurry up and reply to it, will you? Oh, I guess I don't even need to tell you this, but make sure you reply saying that you'll come, okay? You see, I'm going to make you give us a wedding gift of a huge amount of money.
I got the wedding invitation through our parents' house, but why do I need to come to your wedding? Besides, all of our relatives and even your friends from our hometown know already that you stole my fiancé from me. You're still going to have a wedding ceremony despite that? I'm impressed. Just where exactly did you throw away your sense of shame? Or did you seriously just think that they wouldn't think anything of how you just stole my fiancé like that?
None of that matters as long as the two of us love each other. They'll have no choice but to accept our wedding when they see how happy the two of us are with each other.
Is that so?
Oh, that reminds me. I told you this earlier, but you're the loser of this fight, so I'm going to make you give me a wedding gift of a huge amount of money. I'm going to make you give me 30,000 euros, to be exact.
Huh? What fight?
The fight over Giorgio, of course. Once you see how madly in love the two of us are with each other, you'll just give up and give us the 30,000 euros. Who knows? You might be able to forget about all of this and move on, huh?
I'm not coming to your wedding. Seriously, what made you think that I'd want to come, Rosella? You were always like this, never caring about how other people felt and always just assuming that the world revolved around you.
What? But are you sure you don't want to come? If you don't, you're never going to move on from this, and you're going to regret not coming.
I have no regrets over a man like Giorgio. On the other hand, I actually pity you, Rosella. To think that you're about to marry an idiot like him.
What? Just because you're mad that I stole him from you doesn't mean you can insult him like that. You're such a mean person, Sophia.
If that's what you think, then isn't it better that you just don't invite me to your wedding? After all, I am just a mean person that's not going to celebrate it anyways.
What are you talking about? There's no point in having a wedding if you're not going to be there, idiot. We're going to be hosting this wedding ceremony specifically to crown the satisfaction I received by stealing Giorgio from you. There's no point if you're not there to see it, right?
Huh? So this wedding ceremony is going to crown your idiocracy then? All right, then I think I'll plan a little something of my own too.
Oh, so that means you're going to come to the wedding, right? Please show me your best pitiful loser face at the wedding, okay? We'll give you a seat at the front row at the wedding reception. Look forward to it, all right? Hey, Sophia. The day is finally here, isn't it? Today is me and Giorgio's wedding. Finally, I've been waiting for this day so long. I hope you brought the 30,000 euro wedding gift as promised. Oh, and just like I told you, you're going to be sitting in the front row at our wedding reception. I thought that if I didn't do that, then you would probably just try and hide in the back, but I'm not going to let my own sister do that at my wedding. All right, I'm going to be changing into my wedding dress for Giorgio now, so See you later. Try not to throw a tantrum when you see the two of us exchange vows, all right? Sophia, what do you mean you aren't at the wedding venue? Canceling without a notice is considered impolite, you know. And it's not just you, even. Why is 90% of the people I invited not here? But they said that they would come. Even Mom and Dad aren't here. Our aunt and uncle and our cousins as well, and none of them came. Hold on. Is this your doing, Sophia? Did you tell all of them to reply to my wedding invitation saying that they'd come but not actually come to the wedding or something? You were supposed to give me a wedding gift of 30,000 euros, right? And to think I was planning on using the money I received from everyone's wedding gifts to pay for the wedding. I need your 30,000 euros especially. Jesus. It's fine if you don't come to the wedding anymore. Just deposit the 30,000 euros to my bank account. Sister, sorry, but I actually need you to give me 50,000 euros now. I'm adding 20,000 euros as an alimony for ruining our wedding, which was supposed to be the start of our happiness.
Speaking of alimonies...
Oh, Sophia! Finally, you replied. So, like I already said, I need you to deposit 50,000 euros to my bank account.
I'm not going to be giving you any money, Rosella. On the other hand, though, when are you going to pay the alimony that you owe me?
What? What in the world are you talking about?
Did you forget that I asked both you and Giorgio for an alimony of 30,000 euros? You see, Giorgio told me to wait until you two had your wedding, but that's today, isn't it? Can I take that to mean that you're going to pay the alimony as soon as possible?
What? But I don't know anything about that.
Oh, so you didn't hear anything from Giorgio?
No, he didn't tell me anything about an alimony. Besides, why do we even have to pay you an alimony in the first place? I mean, Giorgio is your ex-fiance, right? And since now the two of us are married, he's also your brother-in-law. You're seriously going to be so evil and heartless as to make a family member pay you an alimony? You're a sick person, Sophia.
You've got some nerve calling me sick after you just stole my fiancé and are now asking me to give you 50,000 euros as a wedding gift. It doesn't matter whether it's my sister or not. I can legally ask an alimony from you two for Giorgio cheating on me to be with you instead.
Huh? But I already told you that it's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other. What is so wrong about wanting to be with your soulmate?
Your soulmate, huh? Well, I guess you've lasted longer with Giorgio than any other boyfriend of yours until now. It's still only been a few months, though, so we'll see. Hold on, don't tell me. But did you think that you would somehow be able to get away without having to pay an alimony if it's your sister's fiancé you stole? Did you think that you were so lucky he was my fiancé or something?
I mean, you're my sister, and you're Giorgio's ex-fiancé as well. I thought that alimonies didn't work when the person you were asking one for was your family.
Just where did you get that information? Seriously, you know you could have just looked it up on the internet or something, right? It doesn't matter who it is. If they cheated on me, of course I'm going to make them pay me an alimony. This is your apology for betraying me, and the thing that will crown my revenge towards you.
What do you mean, crown your revenge? But me and Giorgio were supposed to find happiness. You're going to be so mean as to ruin that for us?
Yes. Sorry, but I'm no saint that's going to just forgive you two for what you did, Rosella. Besides, who doesn't want 30,000 euros? And seriously, you're the one who's going to call me mean? Didn't you just try hosting a wedding ceremony as a way to crown your superiority over me, but ended up failing miserably? I got off topic, though. Just tell me, when are you going to pay me the alimony?
Don't ask me. I didn't hear anything about this.
Fine, then ask Giorgio when he's going to pay the alimony.
You go and ask him yourself.
Yeah, but it's going to be such a hassle for me. You're with him right now, aren't you? Just go to where he is right now and explain the situation to him.
But Giorgio said that there was somewhere he needed to go first, and I haven't seen him since arriving at the wedding venue. I'll ask him when I get home. Could you just forget about the alimony we owe you? You see, about the 30,000 euros I was supposed to pay you for your alimony, I used it to pay for the wedding expenses.
What?
I told you about how almost none of the people I invited to the wedding actually came, right? And how because of that, I didn't get as much money as wedding gifts that I had expected. I was counting on that money to pay for the wedding, but it didn't come, so I started looking for some money when I found an envelope with 30,000 euros in cash in Giorgio's bag. I thought to myself, oh, so he already had the money to pay for the wedding prepared then. And so I gave that money to the staff at the wedding venue, and...
So you gave his money to the hosters of the wedding venue without even asking Giorgio first what it was, huh? That was supposed to be the money he would use to pay for the alimony I was asking from him, I suppose.
Yeah. He got mad at me because he said he was intending on handing over that money to our parents' house on the way home from our wedding. But the wedding expenses were 30,000 euros as well, and I didn't know about the alimony, so it was only natural to think it was the money for the wedding, right? I mean, anyone would have done the same thing in my position.
Actually, I think that most people wouldn't just take 30,000 euros from their partner's bag and just hand it over to someone else without their permission first. Because judging by what you just told me, you just looked around in Giorgio's bag and took his stuff without asking him, right?
But he's my husband. His money is my money as well now, right?
Well, not exactly. Based on what I heard from another person, it seems that Giorgio sold some of the more expensive plastic models in his collection to get that money. But even that still wasn't enough, so he borrowed money from some of his friends as well to get that 30,000 euros.
What? But I thought that he was rich. He works at a large trading company, doesn't he?
Well, apparently, I guess not. He was always careless with his money, now that I think about it. By the way, apparently he believed you when you told him that you would take care of the wedding expenses on your own. But the truth was that you were just relying on the 30,000 euros I was going to give you, right?
But I didn't hear anything about this prior. How should I have known?
So did you talk to Giorgio about what you were going to do about the 30,000 euros you owe me? You guys are married, so it's probably not going to be a case of theft, but I heard that Giorgio got all giddy about his marriage with you and made a huge mistake during work, getting fired for it last month, right? Isn't that why he didn't have the money to pay off the alimony immediately? It seems like you're in a pretty difficult situation right now. Giorgio is currently unemployed and looking for a new job, while you don't even have the slightest intention to look for a job yourself. Yet you have to pay me 30,000 euros by, well, today.
You don't need to remind me. I already know that I'm in a difficult situation. I think we might even get divorced soon. What is his problem even? I mean, he's the one who works at a large trading company, not me. Shouldn't he have just paid for both the wedding and the alimony like it was nothing?
I'm not interested in your marital affairs, Rosella. Complain to him about that, not me. The fact that you still owe me 30,000 euros hasn't changed.
What? You're still going to make us pay 30,000 euros when all of this other shit is happening to me?
Of course. It's none of my business what's currently happening to you.
But I don't have any money.
Like I said, that's none of my business. You'll just have to get it somehow.
You're being so mean, Sophia. I thought you were my sister.
We were only ever sisters by blood, Rosella. I remember ever since you entered elementary school, you would always tease me for being ugly, and that continued all the way to, well, now. Besides, it's your fault for hosting a wedding ceremony even though you don't have any money.
What? So what if we had a wedding ceremony? You're not going to let us even do that? Who do you think we are? Some sort of couple in poverty?
But didn't you just say yourself that you didn't have any money? Neither of you currently have a job as well, so if that isn't poverty, I don't know what is. The truth was that you didn't have the money to pay for the wedding, yet you still made plans for it, right?
But not having a wedding isn't benefiting of us when we're a couple who was about to find long-lasting happiness. Besides, I was counting on the money I would receive from the wedding gifts. It's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault for not coming to my wedding and giving me money.
But have you even thought about why almost nobody came to your wedding?
How should I know that? Tell me, why is it that no one came then?
Isn't it because you loved stealing other women's boyfriends? You stole boyfriends from several of your friends, right? Not only that, but this time you stole your own sister's fiancé. It's the same with Giorgio. We had a lot of mutual acquaintances, and so most of those cut ties with him when they found out about what he did. Not only that, but apparently he told his friends that got mad at him for cheating on me that you're just jealous because I'm popular with young women while you're not. Which obviously didn't help the situation. Seriously, why did I ever get engaged with an idiot like him? What made you think anyone wanted to celebrate your wedding?
But everyone said that they would come in the reply to the invitation.
Oh, so did they all cancel at the last moment or something? That is a bit strange, I guess, but I guess they were all just trying to bully you or something. I mean, you do have a lot of enemies, right? I guess that's none of my business, though. Just make sure to pay me that alimony, all right? It's already past the due date, so I'm going to hire a lawyer to handle this from now on. Oh, and I'm not considering lowering the amount even by a cent. I kindly ask for your cooperation. Bye then.
But, Sophia!
I was a bit curious as to whether the people Rosella invited and replied saying that they would come to the wedding actually planned a mass last-minute cancellation, but apparently that was actually what happened. The first set of wedding invitations came back mostly with replies that they wouldn't come. It seems that Giorgio gave up at this, but Rosella was a bit more stubborn and invited basically everyone she knew, including former classmates from elementary school. That's how some people who had a grudge against my sister in our hometown found out about her wedding. And so apparently they planned that they would all reply saying that they'd come, but cancel at the last minute. Anyways, this and that happened, and in the end, Giorgio and Rosella could no longer pay for the alimony I was asking of them. This time, they sold Rosella's brand clothes and bags and stuff, and even sold her car. Even that wasn't enough, so they had to take on a loan to somehow gather the 30,000 euros that they needed. The day after they finally paid off the alimony they owed me, the two got divorced. That didn't change the fact that they were still in debt, so now the two of them live their separate lives of poverty, working all day, every day to pay off their loans.